I've never read Zeb Wells' run, mainly because I've only heard negative things, saying that he ruined everything the character stood for and that it made lifelong fans lose interest. I wanted to see what all the fuss is about, so I've challenged myself to read through the entirety of the worst Spider-Man run. I'm gonna be reviewing them each in pairs because I'm not gonna cover all 60 individually. Okay, maybe just one. I am really curious what Peter could have done to make Johnny and Mary Jane hate him. It wasn't too shabby this issue. I like Tombstone, so it's nice seeing him be the main villain for presumably the entire run. I don't see why anyone hates this. This guy is hated by the entire community, and from this first glance, he seems like just a regular guy. Also, how long could Peter and MJ have been broken up that they have 2 kids together? One of them looks like they're 6 or 7. Overall, somewhat normal start. They're leading into some huge mystery, and I can't wait to see how that plays out.
Spider sense is something. Funny you should say that.
Peter has been nerfed so much. In issue 3, he's on his knees, chained up, begging for his life, only being saved by some random guy who remembered that Spider-Man saved him from a burning car. They keep trying to make the reader think Paul is a good guy, but he sucks. I will dive more into why I hate Paul, but there's a million other videos about him. But it boils down to knowing next to nothing about him. They had this little celebration issue for 60 years of Spider-Man, and it fell incredibly flat. I didn't care for the Brain Guy or the Sinister Six. It was just really boring. Gwen came back. Some Celestial was judging the planet. It sounds like bullshit, but I actually like that one. I also like the Hellfire Gala one a bit, but that's mainly because of Peter's outfit. Ben Riley's back, and he's evil now. I think the worst part about this all is Peter has been beaten so badly in these 15 issues. He loses to the Vulture, just so that when he gets the suit Norman Osborn gives him, he seems even stronger for it doing absolutely nothing. Did I mention Peter's working for Osborn now? After everything he's done, they're just working together. Overall, a very, very rough start. Hopefully it'll pick up in the next 45.
You and I will settle down.
It starts with Peter being sent to hell, and he has a new annoying sidekick called Wreck Rap. It's clever, and you might miss it, but Wreck Rap backwards is Parker, but I wouldn't expect you to know that. All I have to say about this hell story, which I didn't read the X-Men or the Venom ones, is that it was just okay. The real best part was the sentient objects. Just look at this guy. This one too. Black Cat and Peter have always worked well off each other, and they consistently remain the best part of this run. Issue 21, we finally get to see what happened with Peter and MJ.
Wow, that was the worst piece of crap I've ever seen.
So Peter and MJ were moving in together when a crazy guy came in and sent them to another universe where they met this guy named Paul, and he kills a demon Peter couldn't beat because that's the only way we can show a character to be strong. But Peter gets sent back and steals from the Fantastic Four and Tony Stark to work with Norman Osborn to bring back MJ, who now has 2 kids that they found. Now he's come back for Mary Jane and killed her, but it was actually Miss Marvel, and Paul's kids die. They do this 5-issue story with Otto, and I swear they mention Superior Spider-Man on every single page. Still a rough 15, but with the addition of the bullshit reason MJ hates Peter. Tombstone hasn't been in any of these, by the way. Peter's become the Green Goblin.
That's okay. You can keep it.
It is painfully obvious Zeb Wells just read Craven's Last Hunt and immediately tried to recreate it. It has Peter hunting Craven this time after being injected with all of Norman Osborn's sins. It's just the Goblin serum, but it's different this time. Peter really wants to kill Craven, so he buries him alive. And then Peter's on his way to kill Paul. Before he can, he's stopped by Norman and Craven, and Peter is cured. Wow. Peter broke up with Black Cat for the millionth time, by the way. And there's an 8-issue storyline about a gang war with every crime boss in New York. This was probably the highlight of the run so far. I liked seeing Fisk and Typhoid Mary come back. Beetle taking over her father's business for 6 minutes, with it leading to Peter and She-Hulk helping Tombstone, and without realizing made him the sole kingpin of New York's underground crime syndicate. This was Again, the highlight of it for me. Seeing other street level heroes after 40 issues of Peter getting cucked by MJ and being beaten to the ground by the low giving Mary Jane slot machine powers is the dumbest thing of all time, and god damn it, Peter's the Goblin again. Norman is back to being the Goblin, and the way Peter finds out is so incredibly funny. He says a code word that opens a wall in Norman's office that reveals the gold Goblin suit, and Norman's a hero now, by the way. With Peter accidentally saying another code word that opens it again to reveal the green Goblin suit. It's not that funny, but I think it is. They wrap up the stuff with Tombstone fairly quickly within the last few issues, and there was this really nice scene of Ben and Peter at a diner just talking. Ben wanted to leave town, start a new life away from Peter and the drive to get his memories back. This scene was really wholesome and well written, and I applaud Zeb Wells for this one. Until right after Chasm is stalking Peter, waiting for his time to strike. What is this? I've never seen any writer go back on something they said this fast, literally in the same issue. These last 15 were pretty freaking bad, with the only good part being shortly backtracked right into Ben being evil again. This isn't my conclusion for the entire run, but I can say that these last issues were pretty bad. Zeb Wells is a good writer. A lot of his other work has been good. Even some of this run is. The Gang War storyline was pretty good, and he handled the tie-in stories pretty well too. I also think the conclusion for the Tombstone story came to a pretty okay ending, rubbing in the fact that people like him are just above the law and can't be touched. It's funny because the same thing happens with Kingpin over and over again. The worst part about this run is that nothing has been allowed to change or be different. And that isn't even a problem with this run specifically. Peter, as well as every other character, just can't grow or develop, and this run gives off the illusion that things are gonna be different this time around, when it's just rehashing the same old stories. Marvel has confused the words suffering and struggling. Peter has always been struggling, financially, in combat, with his relationships, but in recent years, Marvel editorial thinks we need him to be at the lowest point of his life, at all times. So is Zeb Wells a terrible writer and should never be allowed to touch Spider-Man or any Marvel property ever again? No. Is this run specifically terrible? Oh yeah, definitely, but it's not his fault. Tasm 1 is the best movie, by the way.
Hi, I'm Peter Parker. And a while back, I was bitten by a radioactive spider and got superpowers. I've used my powers to help the city and stop a lot of people who wanted to hurt it.